everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is midday in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. Remember, if you miss the live streams, you can catch up with the premiere event streams on a Friday and Saturday at 2 PM Pacific time in the US, which is 9 AM in Australia or 10 PM if you're in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls are well and you had a great weekend. We're going to continue working on our temple rotunda that we're making in 3D Studio Max using Photogrammetry elements. After we've finished doing the modeling stage, we're going to take it into Substance Painter and Mari to do texture painting. And then we're going to take the final model into Eon View to do the beauty renders. Smurfberry barbecue. Where's your copy, Smurfberry? What did I do with it? I want all the copy for me. The Hambone, it's good to see you, Hambone. How are you? How have you been, Hambone? Haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good Christmas, New Year, all that sort of stuff, and I hope you're doing well. But it's good to see you, Hambone. What have you been working on lately? Anything interesting? It's good to see you guys. So yes, that's the plan of action. Hambone says it's been a long time, so glad you still stream. You'll never get rid of me. I'm here forever. Hambone says, and sadly no, that needs to change though. Well, it does. Come on. You're very talented in programming, and I want to see some stuff from you. Remember, guys and girls, if you've got any questions, anything you're not sure about, please feel free to pop into chat and ask me. If I can help, I'm happy to try. If you just want to pop in like these guys and say hello, that is always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. Just catch up with Discord here going off in the corner. Okay. I saw that plant you posted pictures of, Smurfberry, on Discord. It's looking very cool. Very cool. All the polygons, I say. All the polygons. More. It does look very good though. I love the design of it. It looks really cool. What are we doing? That's right, we're doing this temple rotunda, aren't we, in Max at the moment. So, guys, let me know if there's any problems with the stream. I've updated to the beta version, or the release candidate, I should say, of OBS, which is a new version, with an updated NVNC encoder from NVIDIA, which is what I use to stream. I don't stream X264, I use the NVIDIA encoder. Even though I use two PCs, I still use the NVIDIA encoder. But it's a new version, so let me know if there were any problems, okay? I'll monitor things as I stream, but it's new, so who knows? And it's a release candidate, so. All right, Max, this is what we're working on, this rotunda. We just have a few bits and pieces left before we start texturing up the bits that need to be textured up. Need that copy. All right, so what are we going to do? You know, Smurfberry a few weeks ago said that I should put flames. This is a temple. It's going to be a temple rotunda. It's actually based on a rotunda that's called the Temple of the Winds, which is this thing here. So I'm going to call it Temple Rotunda when I put it on my store. You want me to share some coffee, Hambone? You're so drowsy. Yeah. Have a drink. There we go. And one for me. So yeah, Smurfberry suggested like some flames, like a bowl of flames, and that could be cool. But I like these little decorative pieces, but there's no reason we can't combine them both. And I'm going to try and be really cheeky, and I don't want to have to remodel up a bowl, so I'm gonna see if we can't use the bowl here that we're using for the fountain here in the middle. You're welcome, Hambone. Everyone needs that copy. So we've got this copy of that urn just here. Let's see what we can do with it. So let's jump into isolation mode. And now I still have to fix up some of the textures on this. You can see down here that the textures are incorrect. So I'll do that when I jump into Mari, but we'll do that after we've finished the modeling stage. Smurfberry says, Sacrificial chicken bowl, that's right. Well, I just thought we're going to be using the fountain here. I'm going to have water coming out of these lion's heads, so I'm going to be using particle effects. I thought if I'm using particle effects for water, maybe some particle effects for flames in these bowls would look really cool. Particularly because it's called Temple Rotunda, so flames, temple, they go together really well. I've never included anything like that in any other model I've sold on my store, so it could be good for something a bit different as well. We'll see what it looks like. Let's see if we can reuse this though. So I'm just going to ungroup it. You know me, I love to reuse stuff as much as I can if I can. I think what I might do here is actually regroup it so I can just rotate it around a little bit, and it'll make it easier for me to slice it up. Hambone says, can I get rich selling models online? No, you can't. I was talking to you guys last week. Don't think that you're going to be able to quit your day job by selling your models online. Regardless of what all those selling sites tell you, where, you know, they do an online interview with one of their sellers saying, I quit my job and I make, you know, $60,000, $80,000 a year selling my models on blah, blah, blah. I find that very hard to believe. And I've been selling online for like 7 years. So maybe people just don't like my stuff. I don't know. But yeah, you're not going to get rich selling your models online. You're not. It's all lies. Lies, I tell you. Those sites say that because they want, the more people they have selling their work, then the more commission those sites get for selling the work. So, Hambone says, if I may ask, just generally curiously, what are your goals for streaming? Just for the funds? Yeah, pretty much. I originally started streaming on Twitch as a way to encourage you guys to do 3D because it's something I love to do, and I know more people would enjoy it if they did it. A lot of people think it's too difficult, which is why they never try. So my main reason for streaming on Twitch was to encourage you guys and girls to do 3D yourselves and do some artwork, because, you know, art is a great way to express yourself, and I consider 3D modelling art. Android Lust, it's good to see you, Android Lust. Did you have a good weekend? So yeah, they're my goals for streaming. It was really just to chat with you guys, because I enjoy talking to you, and to also encourage you guys to do some 3D stuff yourself, or any artwork. It doesn't have to be 3D. Just make some art, because art is cool and fun and a good outlet. Because the world's just too stressful nowadays, you know. You need an outlet to chill, and art is a great way to do that. Great weekend. Good to hear, Android Lust. It's good to hear. I like it when you guys have a good weekend, and girls. So yeah, let's see if we can't slice this up so that we can use it as some sort of sacrificial fire bowl around the outside of the terrace. So let's ungroup it again now that we've rotated it. And let's see what we can do. I'm just going to collapse my stack here. Now I want the base, so I want to select everything up to the base. We're going to hide a lot of the base anyway, so. Okay, that's good, but I need the bowl as well, so I must remember to remove that. So we'll take the bowl to about, let's take it to about here and delete the middle bit. I'm just going to straighten up this bottom edge a little bit. And I'm going to do a similar thing here for the top of this base. Cool. I want to actually detach the base from the top so we can move them more easily. I don't have to detach the base. I can just move it up. Let's do that. Actually, no, I will detach it because I want to do some scaling, some separate scaling. So let's detach that. Let's just reset our pivot so it's easy for us to move around. But yeah, again, like I said, guys and girls, if if there are any problems with the stream, let me know, because I'm using the new version of OBS with the new NVIDIA encoder. So it is still a release candidate. But I was keen to try and see what improvements they'd make, because apparently the new encoder, the new OBS, takes better advantage of the NVIDIA encoder, the SDK. So it's supposed to be better. Cookie, it's good to see you, Cookie. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? Says it doesn't seem to be showing ZBrush properly. Oh, you're so cheeky. So cheeky, Cookie. You get a fill slap. I haven't handed one out for it. Oh, why is my fill slap not going off? There we go. I didn't hit the button. You get a fill slap, Cookie. You're so cheeky. So cheeky. Actually, we may jump into ZBrush today or tomorrow. If not today, tomorrow. So I want to do some sculpting on those stairs just to make them look a little bit more weathered for our terrace. So cheeky. Yes, well. Okay, so we have our base, we have our bowl. Instead of scaling the bowl up at this, actually, yeah, I'm going to scale the base back a little bit. Might scale it up just a little bit so it's a little bit thicker. As long as we're careful, we won't stretch the texture. And let's pop that underneath. Just want to make sure I don't have any holes showing. Alright, now I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to... Is that grouped? No, it's not grouped. I'm going just to move the bowl up and out of the way a little bit. I'm going to scale the bowl up a bit too. Let's scale it in a little bit. Because I need to make sure those pieces there are hiding inside of the mesh. And now we can move our bowl back down. And we need to scale it in because I scaled the bowl in. Just looks like this needs to come over a little bit. Yes, some photogrammetry, Cookie, that's right. This was done outdoors with a DSLR. I'm guessing it certainly was. I used my Fuji camera, DSLR camera, to take the photographs. And I showed you guys at the beginning of this project me turning them into photogrammetry objects that we've just brought into Max. So sort of the idea behind these streams on Twitch are to show you how to take photogrammetry pieces from the real world and recombine it into something completely different and new inside of a 3D program. So you're not just creating photogrammetry in a model and using that on its own. You're changing that photogrammetry model to make something new. So that was sort of the point behind this series of streams. Of course, we're going to be jumping into Mari to do some texturing and substance and all that sort of stuff. There we go. That's better. We have to clean up some of these textures as well when we get into Mari. Just a little bit there still needs to be fixed. Yeah, because a lot of people have asked me, are you concerned because AI seems to be taking over the world, and, you know, with photogrammetry nowadays, they're not going to need 3D people anymore. You know, a camera will run through a scene, the AI will create the model based on whatever it is it's looking at. And that's true. That is a problem, or it can be a problem if you're thinking long-term career. But it doesn't have to be, and that's why I thought it was interesting. I wanted to show you guys, I'm just going to group these, show you guys how you could avoid that problem by being creative. And what I mean by that is AI is never going to be able to make creative choices. It's just not the way it works. So if you can take those photogrammetry pieces, like this statue and this top of this urn, the top of this rotunda, and create it and put it in a new 3D object, a different type of scene. So you're building on the photogrammetry, basically. You're being creative. And being creative is something AI will never be able to do. Mark my words, at least not in our lifetime. So that's a way to sort of make sure you stay employed. Just not by copying photogrammetry stuff, by photographing something, turning it into a model and saying, job done. You can still use that photogrammetry, but you make something new out of it. Sniper Girl, it's good to see you, Sniper Girl, and thank you for the 13-month subscription, Sniper Girl. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you for that 13-month sub, Sniper Girl. Yes, Twitch have got they've introduced this new thing about subscribing and sharing your sub or something. They sent me an email and I sort of read it. So yeah, I don't know, something going on with the subscription stuff, but I appreciate the subscription, so thank you, Sniper Girl. You can't predict, AI can't predict artistic intent. No, it can't, and it never will. So if you're worried about your job, you're a 3D person, you think, oh my God, what's going to happen in 10 years? I'm going to be out of work. Make your work more creative between now and then. So start to create stuff that you imagine, not just stuff you photograph. And that way you'll always be employable, always. It's not as much of a problem as a lot of people think it's going to be. AI is meant to help us, not to replace us. It does replace some people in some jobs, and that's unfortunate. But the creative industry will always need creative, real minds to work. Hambone says, yeah, the human element will always be needed. AI is already making music, but we still need humans there to make it good. That's exactly right. Because it can't be creative. Creating music is a creative thing as well. And AI just doesn't have the brains to do it. You know, AI can take a repetitive task and do it very well, but as far as being creative, no. Thank God. Sniper Girl says, you're welcome, have to support fellow artists. Yes, that's right, we all support each other, and I do appreciate it, Sniper Girl. Android Lust says, who is also a sub, which I appreciate as well, Android Lust, says, I just noticed I've been sub for 13 months too. You have you? Wow. Well, you are awesome too. You are all awesome. Yes, you have been subscribed for over a year. How dare you, Sniper Girl says, have to bow to our AI overlords. Yes, that's right. AI overlords. Well, we've all seen the movie. What was the movie with Will Smith in it? The one that battled all the robots and the central AI that tried to take over the city? iRobot, that was it. That was AI out of control. Yep, iRobot, thank you, Snowberry. It was a good movie, by the way. Yeah, I enjoyed it anyway. Some people might disagree, but I enjoyed it. Gee, Nightbot spams my links. Naughty Nightbot, naughty. So yeah, don't get all caught up with worrying about AI taking out your job. I'm just going to go jump back into isolation here because this is all. Just going to ungroup. Actually, I'm just going to open the group and see if we can't line this up a little bit better. Okay, let's close the group. Good movie, Sniper Girl? Yep. Cookie says, you robot, we all robot for iRobot. There is bad at Sniper Barbecue Cookie. It was a good movie, yep. And the other movie I really liked that had Will Smith in it was the one about the end of the world. some virus. He releases some virus. What was that called? And then it mutates the population and into these monsters that can't go out into the sunlight. That was a good movie too. Can't remember the name of it. My brain. All the 3D stuff pushes out all the other stuff. That's my excuse anyway. I Am Legend. Thank you, Android Lust. That was the name of it. I Am Legend. I enjoyed that too. All right, let's rotate this around. Let's scale it up a bit. In fact, I'm just going to jump into perspective for this. It'll be easier for me to gauge scale. So yes, the reason I'm doing this is because I want flames. Smurfberry Barbecue put the idea in my head, so blame him. When we do our particle effects, I want flames coming around these decorative urn things because it is a temple. I Am Legend Sniper Girl. Yep, you know, you are completely correct, Android Lust. So that is what it's called, and it's a very good movie. I'm just going to scale this up. I don't want to scale it up too high because I don't want the base to stick outside of the top of that there. Let's move it up. I'm just going to pull back and see if I like these little flame urns here. So we have to imagine there's going to be flames around the base of this decoration. So all the way around there'll be little flames shooting up. Smurfberry says, praise be to... I can't pronounce that. Sniper Girl says, kind of comical. The first advertisement for Batman versus Superman was in I Am Legend on the billboards. Oh, that was a terrible movie though. Batman versus Superman, wow. Was that the one with the guy that was in Dogma, the dark-haired guy? Did he play Batman? If that's the movie, then that was terrible. I'm pretty sure that was the movie. But I didn't realise that, Sniper Girl. That was the first advertisement for Batman vs Superman in I Am Legend on the billboards. Cool. Still, we can't be too hard on these people acting, you know. They only acted, they're only got this, they have to act the script they're given, so. If I want to blame anyone, I guess blame the script writer for Batman vs Superman. Sniper Girl says, yeah, Batman vs Superman was horrible, no arguing here. Yeah, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? Yeah, this is not bad. I think what we'll need to do is we'll need to move these up, but before I do that, because I want to do them all at the same time, I'm going to start duplicating our fire urn all the way around. Clearly Batman would win. What's the Easter egg? Let's have a look. I've got to check out this link. I'm just going to copy the link because it opens Chrome by default, and I use Edge when I'm streaming, so... Oh, I see, okay. Batman, wow. Terrible. Even the logo is terrible. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that's Batman's logo and I know that's Superman's logo. But the way that they've just superimposed the two on top of each other, the less said about that, maybe the better. Android Lust says, I didn't see Batman vs Superman. Guess I'm lucky. Yeah, don't bother. Don't bother. Save your eyeballs. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. We all love superhero movies, but wow, that one was bad. Bad, bad, bad. Actually, I'm waiting for the very last episode movie in the is it the Marvel characters? The one that has Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk and all those characters in it. There was a two-part movie. They left it on like a cliffhanger in the last movie, and I think the new version, part 2, is due to be released soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. It had the characters like Black Panther, all the major characters were in one movie. I can't remember the name of the actual movie though. And they left it on a cliffhanger, as they like to do. Batman Cookie says, yes, that's right. Batman. More people might have seen it if it was called Batman. It's a better title. Sniper Girl says, well, the actual fight between Batman and Superman was only 10 minutes of the entire movie. So they made a big deal of calling their movie Batman versus Superman for 10 minutes worth of action, where they actually fight each other. Oh, Hollywood. Hollywood, we love you so much. Avengers Endgame, thank you very much, Sniper Girl. I can't remember these movies. Like I said, the 3D stuff pushes out everything else from my mind. Yep, that's the one. Avengers. So I'm looking forward to the conclusion to that, because I think they killed off half the characters at the end of part 1. But they have Doctor Strange, is it? The guy that can change time, go back in time or re-alter time. So I have a feeling they'll probably bring them all back to life somehow. That would be my guess. You never know though. But this is Hollywood, so you pretty much do know. They're not going to ruin their chances of making another movie in the future if they want those characters, so they're not going to kill them all. That's my prediction anyway. Cookie says, I hate when they make death meaningless. Yeah, me too. Sort of, you know, you go through the emotions of thinking, oh no, my favourite character has just died, just to have them brought back to life in the next, either the next movie or the next series or whatever TV show it is. Doctor Strange, yep, thank you, Sniper Girl, was also amongst the ones who were dusted. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. It was about a year ago I watched it, so I didn't realise Doctor Strange had got dusted too. That could make it difficult. Oh, I'm sure that they'll do something. I know that they will. They're not going to kill off all their main characters. They're not going to ruin their options of making another movie with those characters at some stage in the future. I'm sure. Hollywood are just too greedy. They never would. I'm just selecting all of these decorative pieces because we want to lift them up now that we have the urns there. Sniper Girl says, granted, we already knew those characters that got dusted will come back somehow. I'm pretty sure they will. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Thanos will bring them back? Yeah, maybe. Sniper Girl says, yeah, agreed. I mean, in the MCU, Loki died about 3 years. Yeah, he did. Loki was always dying and coming back. I'm just going to lift these up because I want to see them a little bit more. They're sort of like we're being hidden by the urn. Okay, and I do like them. I think Smurfberry Barbecue's idea was a good one. Because like I said, it is a temple, so we're going to have some flames in these little bowls around the base of these. It will look cool. For the final beauty render, it will look cool. And when I sell the model, I'll make these separate objects anyway so people can remove them if they don't want them. Because we're doing like a kit bash. Nightbot, you naughty robot, stop posting links. Alright. Let us just do a quick save so we don't lose the work we've done. The other good thing about reusing the urn was it helps to tie the design together. Not only does it help us because we don't have to model something new, it also helps in tying all the bits and pieces into one coherent model. That's why we reuse these stag horns, I think we call them. designs that were around the base of the rotunda here on the columns as well, just to tie it in all together. Make it look like it was all built at the same time and all meant to be together. Sniper Girl says, "Oh, nice, flames in the bowls will look nice." Yeah, that's what I thought too. So we're gonna have water shooting out of the lion's mouths because that's a pond, and we're gonna have flames around the base of the urns here, and it should make a cool looking visual for when we do our beauty render, when we put it in our 3D environment. And I thought for something different this time. I'm going to use Eon View for my beauty render because you guys know I like View. But instead of using the program, I might use, because it is actually incorporated into Max as well. You can actually, when you install it, you can incorporate it into Max. That's what this toolbar here is. That's the View toolbar. That's the Corona renderer, which I'm trialing at the moment actually for work. I thought we might do it in Max using V-Ray, the V-Ray renderer, as opposed to jumping into Eon View and using their program. But if you guys would rather me do it in View, you let me know and I'll do it in View. No big deal. I just thought last time I did it in View. This time I thought I might do it inside of Max using View. It still uses View, but I just created in Max instead of their program. So you guys let me know which you would rather look at, because I'm here to try and help you use stuff as programs as well. So how am I liking Corona? I like it very much, Cookie. Yeah, I do. I'm trialing it for work because we use V-Ray at work. We love V-Ray. But we have a lot of junior people in the studio who find using V-Ray a bit difficult because V-Ray can be quite complicated to use at times. There's a lot of settings that you can tweak. So for us old jaded 3D people like me, it's not so much of a problem because I've used V-Ray for many, many years. But for newer people, they find it a little bit daunting. So the studio tasked me with finding a renderer that we could incorporate into the studio for these more junior people that they could use that wouldn't be quite so hard. And so far, Corona ticks all the boxes. It gives us renders close to V-Ray in quality, but it's much easier to use. And it also has a built-in material editor, which is very nice as well. If I sort of pull it up here, so it has a built-in material library. So if you want, for new people that want to texture up a scene, it makes it incredibly easy and quick. So all of this sort of stuff is nice. You don't have to fiddle with settings. It's biased or unbiased. I always get them mixed up. It's either biased or unbiased. I think it might be unbiased. There's two types of renderers, biased and unbiased. And Corona is the one that's more accurate to real life. V-Ray is biased, but can be unbiased. Whereas Corona, I believe, is unbiased. I could have them the wrong way around, but yeah. Cookie says, indeed, V-Ray is a classic. Yeah, I love V-Ray. I love it. Beautiful renders, lots of settings to tweak to get the look you want, you can play with settings to your heart's content. But it's really hard for new people to use in the studio. For you more junior artists, they find it very intimidating. So having Corona as an option to get them used to using a rendering engine, and then down the line they can be slowly trained up in using V-Ray. So it just gives people an option in the studio that aren't familiar with V-Ray, find it hard to use. We still need them though to do work for us, so that's why we're trialing Corona, and I like it. I think my recommendation is probably going to be for the studio to actually end up using it because it's good. It gives us quality that's close to V-Ray, but much easier for new people to use. Win-win. I say win-win. Just do that. I love the real-time preview as well. I haven't turned it on here, but you can set it up to give you a real-time preview and Max as you work, like a rendered preview. It's sort of an iterative preview, a little bit like V-Ray real-time renderer. And that's very cool as well. And of course, Corona uses the CPU, not the GPU. It uses the GPU to do denoising. whereas V-Ray is more GPU dependent, Corona is more CPU dependent. So the better your CPU, the better Corona will perform. But you don't have the hassle then of if NVIDIA release a driver, which they never do, that is crap or broken. NVIDIA would never do that. It doesn't break things because it's using the CPU, whereas sometimes a driver update can break programs that rely on the GPU. So Sniper Girl says, I'd honestly prefer to render in Unreal. Well, again, I really liked Unreal. And the studio are still thinking about using Unreal. They wanted to wait till I finished that cinematic, and I like what they saw. Unreal is not quite V-Ray quality though. Some clients of ours, they want renders. They want ray traced renders. They don't want real time. But some clients I think could really benefit from Unreal and the real time aspect of it. And it's quicker to change things in Unreal as well and re-render stuff out because it's real time. You saw how quickly when I did the cinematic I was saving out images for each camera shot. You know, it doesn't compare to using V-Ray or Corona, which will take much longer to render out shots. So yeah, and eventually I believe real time will be what's used. Eventually, it'll all be real time. Whether it's a game engine or a renderer that's real time, they'll all be real time. Which is why NVIDIA released the RTX series of cards. They want to try and push the industry more in that direction, which is a good thing. Not that I would buy an RTX card. Don't buy this generation. It's too new. Too expensive and too new. Unreal can do V-Ray. Yeah, it can. That's true. And I haven't actually looked at that. That you can. The V-Ray is in Unreal now as well. You have an RTX card, Cookie? Well, I'm glad you have an RTX card. I'm not dissing the cards. The cards are great. And the real-time ray tracing in RTX is cool. My only concern is that it's the first generation of the hardware. There aren't, if you bought it for games, there's really only one game, Battlefield 5, I believe, at the moment, that takes advantage of it. There are more games coming, like the new Metro game, if you're going to buy that after the developers spit the dummy at all us PC people bitching about the fact that it was an Epic Games exclusive game and they were taking it off Steam. One of the devs of the new Metro game, Metro Exodus, spit the dummy and said, well, you know, maybe we just won't release on the PC anymore. That's not the way to treat people, your customers, guys. You don't talk that way about your customers because they won't buy your game. You'll piss people off. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Yeah, the RTX cards, they are great, but they're expensive and you don't have a lot of use for them at the moment. Cookie says, I skipped the 10. So, okay, if you've got a 10 series, don't buy a 20 series. If you've got a 9 or lower series card or an AMD card, say, and you want to switch, then the 20 series are much better value. So you were due for an upgrade, Cookie. Yeah, no, that's cool. It's all cool. Don't buy an RTX if you've got a 10 series, but if you've got anything lower than a 10 series, then an RTX, well, if you want to get NVIDIA, it has to be an RTX, although they have just released the 2060. They're talking about releasing an 11 series, a 1110 some series card. I don't know, NVIDIA, I don't know what's going on. But you don't really have a choice at the moment. If you want to upgrade and you want to buy NVIDIA, it's 20 series because they stopped making the 10 series cards. 970 to 20. Oh, that's a nice jump, Cookie. You would have noticed the difference there. 970 to 2080. Wow. Would have been like night and day. What I really love about a GPU upgrade in your computer is it makes it feel like you've got a whole new PC, particularly if you're a gamer. Do you remember what it was like in the olden days? Maybe you guys are too young. Where you used to upgrade your computer system and everything would just be so much faster. The menus would be faster and games would be faster, and so it's sort of like that with graphics cards. You get much more bang for your buck now upgrading your graphics card than anything else really, because CPUs haven't changed much for the last 10 years now. Like I have an i7 2600K here, which is my stream computer. No. And my main computer is an i7 8700. And I don't notice a huge difference between the two. And this one is like 7 years old now. The 2600K came out about 7 years ago. And I just upgraded to the 8700K, and it is faster. It's got more cores, but not dramatically faster than my 2600K. Not that I've noticed anyway. And that's with an NVMe SSD and all that sort of stuff. Sniper Girl says, I have a 970, really need an upgrade. If you can wait, Sniper Girl, I would wait, because I have a feeling NVIDIA are going to push out the 3 series next year, or maybe even this year, at the end of this year. So if you can hold off, I would hold off. If you can't, that's fine. You know, the old adage goes, if you wait, you're going to be waiting forever. But if you wait till the next generation of the RTX series of NVIDIA cards, Navi as well, which is the AMD graphics card, that's due out at the end of this year as well. So I'd hold off till the end of the year if you can, just to see what's around. And of course, Intel are bringing out a GPU as well next year. So everyone is bringing out GPUs. Intel don't have a great track record of making great GPUs, but you never know. Android Lost says, I still have the 970. Well, I still have my 1080 and the 1080 Ti, which is in my main computer. And I still have my 770 as well in a box upstairs. Cookie says 970 was great, but I like to play games at 144 Hertz, and it just wasn't cutting it. Yeah, that's true. If you're doing high FPS or high refresh rate monitors, yeah, you're gonna be pushing a lot of pixels on the screen. VR also, Cookie says. Okay. What sort of VR do you use, Cookie? Are you an Oculus person, or what VR are you using? Just curious. Cookie says that would be a very short cycle for the next year. I know it would, the shortest for NVIDIA in decades. I agree. It's but you never know, because the 20 series has not been selling well. But they may wait till there's more software support before they start a new generation. You could be quite right. I guess it depends on Navi, what that's like, with the AMD Navi, what that's like when it's released. If NVIDIA feel any pressure to upgrade or to update their lineup. Android Lost says, an Intel GPU? What? Yes, that's right. Intel are going to be releasing a GPU, or maybe a series of GPUs in 2020. So not long now, a year. We're not talking the integrated GPUs that Intel have in their CPUs. These are standalone cards like the NVIDIA and like AMD. They're planning on releasing their own range of graphics cards. So we'll see what they come up with. I mean, Intel is a huge corporation. They have huge amounts of money to splash around on research and development. So let's see what they come up with. It could be interesting, or it could be crap. We'll have to wait and see. Just going to fix this up. So there you go. Yes, so yes, Sniper Girl, you have a Vibe, Cookie? Okay, cool. So yes, Intel are going to be coming out with their own GPU. My apologies, GPU. Yeah, the Vibe is cool. I actually like the Vibe. I don't do VR, but from if I was to buy into VR, I'd buy Vibe over an Oculus, I think. I've heard better things about the Vibe. Yeah, it could go either way, as Cookie says. It certainly could. You never know with Intel. Like I said, they don't have a great track record with their graphics hardware, Intel. So I think it'd be a big ask for them to push NVIDIA. But you never know, because like I said, Intel have huge research and development funds. So they might come up with something amazing. Who knows? Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Okay, so what I want to do now is I just want to go around and look at these railing sections, because we did create these little end pieces, and I want to clean up all of the railing sections now. So, for instance, we've got our railing here just disappearing into our column, which isn't great. We need to correct that. Cookie says, I wonder if they'll focus on workstation GPUs. I don't know. They haven't really given a lot of information, Cookie, about what they're going to, what their plans are. They may focus on workstation stuff. It better be good stuff though if they're going to focus on workstation, because Nvidia pretty much rule the roost there at the moment as well. But as a consumer, I want them to focus on consumer stuff. I want some competition to Nvidia. Now, I love Nvidia. I've always had Nvidia cards, graphics cards. So I do like their stuff. I like their graphics cards. They do them well. But it's always good to have competition, as Intel are finding with AMD's new CPUs. Competition is a good thing for us consumers because it lowers prices. And that's what we want. So some competition to Nvidia would be a good thing. At least I think it would. So yeah, I don't like the way that these columns just disappear into the railings just disappear into the columns. It's not right. That's not how it would be built. So I'm going to isolate these two, and I'm going to cap the railing pieces with these side bits. I'm going to cap the thingy with the thingy here. I'm not going to worry about the bottom here though, I don't think. Maybe. Sniper Girl says, agree with you there. They always had Nvidia would welcome Intel video cards. You know, I would too. Intel makes some good products as well. When they release something, Intel, they do a good job. They don't half-ass stuff. They make sure that stuff works. Nvidia's drivers at the moment have been a bit of a problem. Not for me. I recently upgraded the Nvidia drivers, actually over the weekend. But that was the first time I'd upgraded them since the 399.24 version, and they're up to 41880, I think now. Simply because I was reading so many horror stories online from people saying how bad the drivers were. So I can't say that they were bad because I didn't use them, but a lot of people were complaining. So I didn't risk it, but I have just upgraded. So I thought it's about time. I haven't upgraded since October last year, the driver, so it needed to be done. And generally, Nvidia have had good drivers, but a lot of people have been saying that AMD have better drivers at the moment. I'm actually going to do this in the top viewport. Andrew Luss says, I haven't updated drivers in like 3 years. Well, yeah, again, sometimes you have to update your drivers because new games will come out that will require a driver update. And without it, you can't play the new game. Okay. And there's always the risk when you do that something will break. Because GPU drivers are complicated little beasts. There's a lot of code that goes into creating a driver for a GPU. So it's easy to break stuff. I'm sure Nvidia don't go out of their way to make things broken. It's just a consequence of them updating their code. Let's remove those. And while we're here, let's also slice this up as well. Just let me jump out and have a look at that again. Yeah, I'll slice it. Will I slice it? Will I slice it? Maybe not. So I want that actually to come into the column. That's the border that goes around the terrace. Yeah, No, yeah, no. We'll come back to that. I'll think about that one. Andrew Loss says the 970 was broken. Smepper says it'll be interesting to see how the Intel thing plays out. It will be. I hope that it plays out well, because I want competition. The more competition, the better. Because I want cheaper video cards. Because they're just getting so expensive, particularly the new NVIDIA 20 series. Man, the 2080 Ti, wow. Mega expensive. You know, when you're talking thousands of dollars, this is Australia, by the way, not talking America. Even in America, it's over $1,000 US. But in Australia, a 2080 Ti goes for like $2,300 or something. Over $2,000 for a video card. I mean, come on. That's insane. Insane. Let's quick slice this. So yeah, in any competition Intel can give them, I think it's a good thing. I don't think NVIDIA is at risk of closing down anytime soon. They make a lot of money too. With their scientific cards and their AI and all. Driverless, the AI that they put into cars and stuff now, NVIDIA make a lot of money that way. Not just with their graphics cards that you and I use at home to game on. It's okay. I'm just going to mute my mic while I have a quick cough, guys. There we go. I think a bug must have flown in my mouth. It didn't. It just, you know how sometimes you get that tickle in your throat? It's because I never shut my mouth. Alright, now I could just copy this whole thing around, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do them individually here. Sniper Girl says, was wondering if you saw the generator tire that I was working on and what you thought of it. Yes, I did see it. Sorry, I did see it posted here in Discord under the gallery. Okay, so you're saying that tires on the same UV map as the generator, also have the rack and mounts on the roof of the vehicle. It's on the same UV map as well. The rack is kind of basic. I don't feel the need to post images of it. Let me have a look. I did see it. I meant to comment. I forget these things sometimes. You know what my mind's like, guys? It's a sieve. My mind is a sieve. It looks really good. And you say you're reusing the same UV map. It's on the same UV map as the generator, which was looking cool as well. The case, the generator, the lamp, and the... What's the other thing? The blue thing? The container thing? Yep. Yeah, no, it looks really good. And I really like your normal mapping as well, because you can see that Sniper Girl is all of the detailing in the tire is the normal map, which is really cool. Nice and low poly, but not too low poly. Smurfberry Barbecue was talking about his plant. He's reducing the poly count on his plant. And you have to be careful you don't go too far, because particularly with any curved geometry, if you go too low, you're going to start seeing that stair-stepping pattern where, you know what I mean, guys. It's not going to be a nice smooth circle. It's going to be like an octagon sort of thing if you start to try and get too low poly. But that's not too bad. That still looks good. And this is a game model that Sniper Girl is working on too, so that's why the low poly. Water container, thank you Sniper Girl, the blue water container. Yeah, the tire tread was fun as hell to do. Yep, it looks great. Looks very good. And reusing the same UV map is a good idea as well, because that will save on texture memory. So including the generator with the tire on one UV map is a good idea. Because you guys know a lot of the time with UV mapping, there are many times where there's a lot of empty space in a UV map. It can be impossible sometimes to completely fill the UV map with UV. So combining models together in one UV space is a great idea for optimization. I really do like the lamp as well. I think the lamp is looking great. Yeah, the lamp is looking really nice. Nice texturing. Nice and knocked about and old looking. Yeah, it looks great. I like this case as well, which you posted an image of. Oh, the case is looking good. Very nice. What sort of hobo has a gun case like this though? Are they an undercover homeless hobo? They're really working for the government on some secret mission. This looks great too. I like the damage and where you've got on the texture here as well. And the colour is nice. The colour combination you've used. It's looking good. And again, nice and clean. Nice clean low poly. More like it's the apocalypse and might want a gun when hunting for survival. Oh, okay, if it's the apocalypse, then that makes sense. They've scavenged it, haven't they? They've gone out and they've scavenged it from somewhere. Because it's the apocalypse, you don't pay for anything, you just take it. Take. Who's going to stop you? Yeah, but no, they're all looking really great, Sniper Girl. Really nice. Yep, texturing looks nice. On all of them. If I was going to make a critique, it may be just that this might look a bit clean. Maybe some mud around the base of it or something might look cool. But apart from that, it's looking great. Very nice work. Can't wait to see everything put together in your Phil's fill up scene. And as we're showing work, let us also have a look at Smurfberry Barbecue's tree. I really like the render he's done here. Again, guys and girls, if you've got anything you want to show, please feel free to jump on the Phil Does 3D Discord server. There's a gallery where you can post links to your work. I love looking at it. Oh yeah, this is so creepy. It looks really good, Smurfberry. Love it. Love the design as well. Look at that. Nightbot twice in a row. Spam, spam, spam. And Cookie, you posted a work in progress of your gun. Let's have a look. But yeah, really nice work at a Smurfberry as well. Textured up. It's going to look amazing. And this is a gun by Cookie. Very nice. You're going to texture it up, Cookie? You're going to jump into Substance Painter or something to texture it up? Because the modelling is very, very nice. Looking cool. The magazine, the bullet. Yeah, it looks cool. I can zoom in more? No, I can't. Smurfberry says, better texture that gun, Cookie. Yes, you better texture it. Pill secretly hates the gun. No, I don't hate them at all. Don't you say that, Android Last. I don't hate guns. I just don't want you to fill your portfolio full of them. You put words in. It's not true. It's not true. I love the gun. I think it looks great. I'd love to see it textured up though. You guys know it's great to model stuff, but get into the habit of texturing it too, because it's really important. To have that skill set of both model and texture is going to make you 10 times more employable. And I'm sure you are going to texture it probably, Cookie. It's just me jumping the gun. It's so little. Yeah, I know. It's because I'm working on a 4K screen here, and that probably doesn't help. But I can't zoom in. It won't let me. I don't know why, but it won't. Jump on the Discord, guys and girls. You can look at it all on the Discord server. It's another excuse, a good reason for you guys to join the Discord that aren't already, of course. FS Vault, it's good to see you, FS Vault. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? Oh, Cookie just posted another image. We'll check that out in 2 secs. Yes, you better texture a Cookie. I want to see it textured. I want you boys and girls to texture up your work. It's fun texturing as well. I mean, the UV mapping is a pain, but texturing it up is the fun part. And that looks great, Cookie. Really nice. Yeah, it looks really nice. I like the textures you've used as well. The laces. It looks great. Model is nice too. Very nice work. Snappy Girl says you better. FS Bolt says pretty solid weekend. How about yourself, Bill? Yes, no, it was good. I didn't do anything much. Watched some TV, had some naps. Decided to take it easy this week. This is the first week where it's been cool in this country, or at least in the city where I live. For the last probably for about the last month, it's been incredibly hot. I don't know if you guys have heard the news reports overseas from Australia, but wow, it's been hot. You know, we're talking 45 degrees Celsius hot for like a week on end. Like not dropping below 30 degrees Celsius at night. It's just been awful. So this week is the first week it's been nice and cool. Like today's about 20 degrees Celsius, I think. So when it's hot, I can't sleep properly. I get crabby. So I took this week to catch up on some sleep I'd missed for the last 3 weeks. So it was good. I turned into a vegetable on the weekend. I slept. I watched some movies. I watched TV. Did a bit of 3D stuff, my own personal stuff, nothing for work. It was good. I enjoyed it. Cookie says, thanks. Rather high poly in the laces, but I didn't have any real use for it. Look, a lot of my work is high polygon. I do renders most of the time. So in which case I don't have a problem with high poly. You'll find if you go and work in film, high poly is not an issue. They want everything high polygon. They want the best visuals they can get. It's only when you're working in game stuff that the poly count is a concern. So never apologize for high polygon unless you're trying to get it into a game. Then it can be an issue. But if you're going to be working in film, they're not concerned with polygon counts. They don't care. What they want is the best visual they can get. And if that means, 100 million polygons, and so be it, that's what they'll do. ArchViz is pretty much the same as well. I mean, they don't want you to go more polys than you need. It has to be able to be renderable on their servers and stuff, but with server farms now, that's less of a problem. So yeah, it's only games where poly count is an issue. And that's even getting less so now because its graphics cards are getting so popular. Episbold says, I'm a vegetable all the time, it's a problem. It's okay to be a vegetable occasionally, or sometimes, or, it can be a problem if you're always being a vegetable. That's true. That's not good. And Android Lust is saying in Discord the shoe is sexy. It is sexy, and I really like the art, the texture as well that you used. Cookie. I must remember not to do that. I always move my top view, but I always change my set views into a perspective, and that's not what I want to do. I want to move this one. Where am I? Okay, I'm here. Oh, I did cut that one. And I cut that one. So where was the one I was working on? This one. Okay. Doesn't take much to distract old Bill here. We'll get that in as close as we can. And let's cut it up. Cookie says starts waving shiny things around. Yes, don't do that. Don't wave shiny things around. I'm like a baby with a set of keys, I become mesmerized. Let's do a quick slice. And let's remove the bits we don't want. No, we are going to be, because I'm creating this like a kit bash, where they can use the terrace either no stairs, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, or 4 steps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save out just one of these copies, which they will then be able to use however many times they want, up to 4. The reason I'm doing it on all 3 at the moment is because I'm going to be doing the beauty render using 3 steps. So I want to make sure, I always hit the wrong button. I want to make sure that the 3-step version is complete, because that's the one I'm going to use to do the renders. Sniper Girl says, helps Cookie wave even more shiny things. Stop doing, don't wave the shiny things around. It is working, look. I'm mesmerized on the chat now, particularly because there are all those lovely colored chat lines coming up. Purple, pink, nice. Notice, I know what you guys are doing now. Changing your text color. Distracting me. I don't mind being distracted. That's why streaming on Twitch would be incredibly boring without you guys to talk to. Let's just put it that way. So I never mind being distracted. In fact, I know some streamers that won't stream if there's no one in chat. Like, generally these are streamers that have been on Twitch for a while, and they're used to having a really busy chat. And if for some reason maybe Twitch chat is broken on that day or something and no one can talk, the streamer won't stream. Because I think they've lost the ability to stream without chat being there. Which I get. Sniper Girl says, we'll never do anything to distract you. I love the emotes as well, Sniper Girl. Whose emotes are they? They look great. Eversbold says, I've been messing around with tutorials for Substance Designer the last week. Such a cool program, complicated though. It is. I've only ever messed around with Substance Designer myself. I've never used it fully. It's incredibly complicated. It's really useful, so, you know, if you learn it, then it's a good skill to have. Although, now that Adobe have bought Substance Painter, what's going to happen with Designer and all those other programs that Algorithmic make? That's a worry. Adobe buying up Substance Painter because they have such a bad track record, Adobe. Sniper Girl says those were the Twitch Prime. Oh, okay, cool. Eversbold says it's a game changer. I'm determined to learn it. It is. It's Substance Painter is a great program for texturing as well. So being able to create your own substances that you can take into Substance Painter then is incredibly cool. Not being stuck with the ones that come with the program or that other people make. Being able to make your own is a great skill and a great help. My only concern is what's going to happen now that Substance Painter has been bought by Adobe. I mean, Adobe are not going to stop releasing a program. Like, they're not going to, I don't think, they're not going to kill the program because Adobe don't really have anything like that in their software suite. But it's just never good when a big company like Autodesk or Adobe buys smaller companies. You just never know what's going to happen. Cookie says, I'm more mad at Algorithmic for selling out. They could have been bigger than Adobe. Well, that's possible, yeah. Although I don't ever want to criticize a company for wanting to make money. That's why they're in business. They make their stuff so that they can make money. So I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. It's the same with the Metro Exodus. Epic Games, I'm assuming, gave them a certain amount of money to release exclusively on their store. They're a business. They want money. They want to make money. That's why they're making the game, I'm assuming. People make games for the love of it too, but generally publishers don't want you to make a game unless they're going to make money. So, but they could have been bigger than Adobe because it's a very unique program, Substance Painter. Sniper Girl says, I hope they don't mess them up. Don't mess them, yeah. Especially due to how cool Substance Alchemy is looking. Yeah, I looked at Alchemy. It was looking very cool. That's a way for a program where you can start merging and mixing different substances together. It did look cool. I saw the demo video. Fistbolt says, yeah, I'd like to hear the CEO's thoughts on the sale. Maybe they just wanted to crash out or something. Yeah, it was an odd move. I have to admit, it was not something I saw coming. Because then it puts into question the integration with Unreal and stuff. Because is that still going to be a thing? Are you still going to be able to integrate Substance Painter stuff in Unreal, or are Epic Games going to be forced to remove it because Adobe don't want it in there or something? Who knows? It's all sort of up in the air at the moment. So I was surprised too, because they've been, incorporating Substance Painter into a lot of different game engines, Unity, Unreal, I think even Lumberyard, which is the Amazon CryEngine version, Amazon's version of the CryEngine. So yeah, it surprised me. I guess the truckload of money that Adobe parked at the doorstep of Algorithmic was just too good to resist, I'm assuming. But Quixel is another one to keep an eye on. That could be an alternative to Substance Painter. Although Quixel's weird. I looked at their website the other day and they've just brought out this Quixel beta, which is, I'm assuming, to try and take some market share away from Algorithmic. But yeah, and of course Quixel have Megascans as well, which is photogrammetry pieces that you can use. Sniper Echo, it's good to see you, buddy. Sorry, I just caught up with chat because they've been distracting me. I told them, I'm like a child with the keys. You wave the keys in front of me and I'm just mesmerised. So I get distracted easily. But it's good to see you, Sniper Echo. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? That's why you're switching to Mixer Cookie? Yeah. Smurfberry says, going from a scrappy amateur short film producer to a Lord of the Rings big budget production. That's it. I'm switching to Mixer. Sniper Girl says they better not mess with the Unreal integration. I hope they don't. It would be a real loss for Unreal and for games if Adobe decided that they didn't want algorithmic substance, if they didn't want Adobe Substance Painter in Unreal anymore. Because it's a really useful way to texture up game assets. But I'm well, thanks for asking, Sniper Echo. FS says, I think it's all a matter of not losing their roots, but you never know. It will be the same in 5 years, even 2. They could completely change house. Yeah, that's true. Sniper Girl says, Quixel is still very much a resource hog. I'm honestly looking at using the 3D scans in Alchemy. I think the two will work well together. Yeah, I haven't used Quixel myself either. No, it's not the weekend. I asked you how your weekend was. Cheeky. You cheeky. I've already handed out one full slap this morning. I'm going to give you one in a minute. Sniper Girl says, wouldn't switch only to Mixer. Currently, you're unable to import your own meshes into... No, that'd be a deal breaker. That is a deal breaker for me. If you can't import your own meshes into a program, then that's it. No, won't use it. Because it's just so handy. Well, looks like I might be a little bit too close to the column here. That's better. I'm going to remove one of these iron bars as well. Bring on the fill slap, or you ask for it, you're going to get it. I hit the wrong button. Silly Phil. There's your fill slap, Sniper Echo. Sniper Girl says I use Mixer too, prefer to use it and also import the materials into Designer for use of Painter. Cookie says, just kidding, really. I could live with Substance Painter 2019 for the next 5 years. I could too. The new version of Substance Painter, I installed the update the other day. Does everything you could need. So even if Adobe decides tomorrow they're never going to release a new version of Substance Painter, we'll be set for, like you said, the next 5 years. And I use Mari to do my texture painting as well, so it's not like I just rely on Substance Painter. Sniper Girl says, I know how you feel. I have an indie license of Quixel, Megascans, and use both. Yeah, Megascans is interesting as well. FS Bolt says, yeah, my thoughts as well. That's me hitting my Discord server link instead of the fill slap. Cookie says, 2019 is so nice, good performance improvements too. Yep. They have that virtual texture thingy built into Substance Painter now. I haven't played with it to talk a lot about it, but I did notice it in the release notes. It's supposed to help, I think, with really large texture sets or something. Don't quote me. I have to reread the release notes. Smurfberry says, I hope they can get the sweet features in Mixer relatively quickly. Yeah. Damn Nightbot. Nightbot is spam. Constantly spamming my links. It's such a naughty bot. How goes your project, Sniper Echo? Is everything going well? It was looking very cool. The landscape you showed us. Just want to make sure that I'm not inside of that column. No, it should be fine. Sniper Echo says, haven't checked out Painters 2019. Is there a big difference between that and 2018? They included the new I can't remember what they call it now. Let's have a look. This is a new version of Painter. And they did include a new option. It's something to do with virtual something or other. Virtual textures, sparse virtual textures. I think that's one of the new things inside of 2019. Again, I haven't played with it, so I'm not completely sure yet. We'll work it out together next when we start texturing up these pieces in that we're working on at the moment. Smoker says, honestly, as slow as they're going, I don't think they're going to get them into the mixer anytime soon. Cookie says they reworked the user interface. Cookie says, and did quite a bit of work. Did quite a bit worth checking out for sure. Yeah, they always, whenever they do an update algorithmic, they always make it a good one. I'll give them that. Cookie says, I really like the new UI. Smurfberry says 2019 is out. I'm on 2018 3.2. Oh, sorry, you might be right. I think I'm still on 2018 as well. Yeah, you might be right. I updated to the last version, whatever that was, but I think it might be 2018 3.2. I don't think they've released 2019 officially yet, have they? So you're right, I'm wrong. I'm getting confused. Smurfberry says, oh God, I just see the shelf moved up onto the right side of the screen. Oh, it's been up there for a while. I actually like the old interface where you could open and close that shelf, the material shelf. Now it's permanently there. I preferred the older way they did it. The dock or whatever they called it. No, that's the default preferences. I haven't, well, all I've done is moved them to the other side. So maybe it's my weird Australian UI change. It's because I'm upside down here in Australia. You guys know that. Being upside down and down the bottom of the world. Sniper Girl says they know if they don't do a major update that we would have no reason to update licenses. Well, that's true. Yeah, that could be very true, Sniper Girl. Cookie says, yeah, I'm confusing with other program too. Whatever the last version is, every program is switching to 2019, Cookie. That's true, except for 3D Studio Max, which is switching to 2020 next month. The new version of Max will be out, and that's Max 2020. Because for some reason, Autodesk are a year ahead of the real world. Android Lust, I see you posted another render. Let's have a check that out, because it looks cool. But yeah, I'm using the latest version, which I believe is 2018.3.2. That I'm aware of. I haven't checked Algorithmic's website in the last day or two. You never know with that company. They bring out so many updates so often. That looks really cool. I really like that Android Lust. Love the design, and I love the modeling, and I love the texturing. You do these characters really nicely. I don't think I've seen one of these sort of characters you've created that hasn't been beautiful. Really nicely done. I love the thing on the shoulder too. That's so cute. Which reminds me, I'm doing chibi versions of myself. I want to do 3. I've finished 1. I must get on to creating the other 2. This is not chibi, I know. It's sort of, no. But I love chibi. Chibi characters. Cute. Anything cute, I love. Cookie said... Yep, 2018 3.2 Cookie. Yep, that's the latest version that I'm aware of Substance Painter. Sniper Recco says Blender 2.8B here. Cool. Android Lust says I have a graveyard of messed up characters if you want to see. Yeah, show us. Show us these messed up characters. But like I said, beautiful work. I've not seen anything that you created, Android Lust. Your character work is always wonderful. Really nice. Nice texturing, nice modeling. Looks great. And yeah, I'm doing myself as chibi characters at the moment, so I can relate. What was I going to do? I was going to talk about or show something. What was it? Oh, that's right. You weren't here, Sniper Echo. I was saying to the guys and girls that I'm trialing Corona renderer at the moment for the studio. We use V-Ray, that's our standard renderer at the studio, but we are trialing Corona, or they want me to trial Corona for them. So I'm doing that. No, I really like it. And Corona is actually available for Blender as well. So you can get it for Max, you can get it for Cinema 4D and Blender. And it's a great renderer. And it's cheap, guys. As far as renderers goes, if you want to buy it, you can rent it. It's incredibly cheap. They have an educational version that you can buy, which is incredibly cheap as well. It's like 25 euros a year. So worth thinking about if you want a... I think it's an unbiased. I always get biased and unbiased confused, but if you want a proper renderer, Corona renderer, it's very easy to use, and that's the reason we're trialing it at the studio, just for the junior artists that have a problem with V-Ray, because V-Ray can be quite complicated. Although I love V-Ray. But Corona gives us results that are very close to V-Ray and is incredibly easy to use. It'll make all those junior artists happy. They won't be sitting in the corner rocking backwards and forwards crying when we ask them to do a render for us. Let's get rid of that. Smith. Well, they're sensitive young things, a lot of these junior artists. Doesn't take much to set them off crying. Alright, let's just add the pieces for the front here. That's an exaggeration, by the way. They don't spend their time crying. So if you guys are at the studio watching, it's a lie. You don't cry. You're all very good. I'm usually the one crying in the corner. Oh, again, I've done that. I don't want to do that. Stopped using my top viewport as an author. Or as perspective. Snowbreaker says, I bet the Phil slap will get the same result out of them juniors. Yeah, that's right. Give them a couple of good slaps and straighten them out. Quick smart. None of this crying. Slap. You want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about. Slap. No, I don't treat them that way. I don't want people to think that I mistreat the juniors at the studio. I don't. I'm very, very considerate, very patient. Like I said, if anyone is crying in the corner, it's me. Usually. Sniper Girl says, great. Got to think up license plate numbers for the van. Yes, do, because I like the station name. That was very cool. Sniper Girl says, yeah, right, you're abusive. We all know I'm not abusive. I'm a pussycat. A pussycat. Unless you piss me off. No, I'm generally a pussycat. Generally. You know. Not saying I can't be mean, but I'm generally not. I'm only mean if you deserve it. Andrew Doss says, sounds like a lot of domestic violence in the studio. No, there's no domestic violence in the studio. No one gets hit. Occupational work, health and safety, no. Trust me, the studio is it's a safe space. No one gets hit. And the only one crying is me. Actually, they need to be straight. I forgot about that. Not on an angle, they need to be straight. Sniper says evidence right there. What evidence? What have you clipped? What have you done, Sniper Echo? What have you done? Evidence right there. Well, check that clip out after the stream. I can imagine what you've clipped. Sniper Girl says, unless you piss me off, isn't that what people say when they're abusive? Don't they say you made me do it? Or you deserved it? Isn't that the way abusers justify their actions? You made me do it, you deserved it. See, these have to be straightened up too. As Taylor Swift would say, look what you made me do. In that song of hers, which actually the video for that song is quite good. I quite like the video. I don't know what the actual song name is, but the words are look what you made me do, and she's got a version of herself in a big glass box with all those particle effects and stuff happening when she goes to touch the side of the box. It's a cool video. I know not everyone likes Taylor Swift, which is fine. I'm not saying she's one of my favourites either, but I like the video. Sniper Echo says he knows all the lingo. So no, yeah, that's right. Sniper Girl says, yeah, notice, please tell me when it's safe to come out. You guys are safe. I would never hurt you guys and girls. I'm a pussycat. A pussycat. Stay in the unmarked van. That's a safe place. That's oh dear. You all get the stink eye. Let's do a quick save so we don't lose what we've done. Sniper Girl says there's room for you too. Can even have one of the pistols that are in the case. So you're going to shoot me? Is that what you're saying, Sniper Girl? Nice, real nice. You're going to pull a gun on me. Okay. Now we need to bring some of this decorative ironwork into our side pieces here as well. We could either go two like we have here, so one just either side of these two columns, or we could go one in the middle. I've just got to decide whether I want to go one or two. Rude. Number one or number two? I think I want to go number one. You would never do that? In real life, would never do it. Well, that's good to hear. You guys, you know guns freak me out. Anyone to pull a gun on me and I just wet myself. They freak me out. They're so dangerous. Sniper Girl says, honestly hate guns in real life. Sniper Echo says, not on stream, please, Phil. And Cookie says, gotta run, take care. But you too, Cookie. Thanks for popping in and being here. I'll be back on tomorrow if you want to pop back in. Otherwise, you have a good night. Thanks for being here, Cookie. Everyone say goodbye to Cookie. So yes, we have to decide whether we want number 1 or number 2. We want to go 1 or 2. And I think what we'll do is go 1. The reason I say 1 is simply because this is a larger piece of railing, and I think 2 on here will just start to look a bit too cramped. Whereas if we just put one of those decorative pieces in the middle, it'll just help to balance it out a little bit better. See, I like to explain these decisions to you as I make them and why I make them. It's not just Phil's just decided to do this because he has. Sniper Girl says, yeah, 1 or 2. I don't need to know what you do in the bathroom. We're going to do 1. We're going to go number 1. So I'm just going to open up this group. And we're going to copy this piece of decorative ironwork. And I just want to make sure it's not in our group, so detach. Let's close our group up again. And let's isolate these pieces. Sniper Girl says, go number 1, hopefully not while you're sitting there. No, I would get banned if I was to try and do that on, which I wouldn't do anyway because I'm a nice person. I'm not gross. But yeah, no, that would be a ban. That would be a quick ban on Twitch. Going to the bathroom live on stream. You better believe it. Twitch don't take kindly to that sort of thing. Which is fair enough. I might have to wait till I bring back my railing so I can position it properly. Let's just make a copy for the other side. So yes, when it comes time for me to actually start doing the beauty renders, I thought about doing it in Max as opposed to opening up beyond View, but if you guys would rather me work in View, I can work in View. If I work in Max, then I'll use the V-Ray renderer to do the renderings, and we can set the scene up in Max because View is integrated, like I said. Sniper Eka says, Sniper Girl, unlike some buildings that are built, will there be many Americans in the van? Sniper Girl says, small generator, grill for cooking, plenty of storage under the bed, and even a portable toilet, so you don't need to worry about using a bottle. You know, I've often wondered about, let's not go there, let's not go there. I can see how using a bottle can be good for some things, but that's not the only thing that you have to do when you go to the bathroom. And how does that work? Do you just go into the woods, like the people stuck in that building of mine? Just wander into the woods and use a leaf? Sniper Eka says, see, that's a home right there. She has a toilet, doesn't she? I mean, better than what I'm doing with my house on the hollow. It has no toilet. Android Lust says you use the same bottle, but how? It's physically impossible. I don't get how that would work, and I don't want to think about it too much. That's so gross. The top of the bottle must be incredibly big. That's all I'm saying. Must be one of those little drink bottles. Must be a big bottle with the top, you know. Great. Let's not go there. Let's remove the bars we don't need. Let me just make sure I'm in the right spot here first. I'm just going to unisolate this so I can check whether they are about the middle. Yeah, they should be good. So let's get rid of these 3 bars. And these 3 bars. Blowing a gale here at the moment. Sounds like the roof's going to be blowing off. There's sort of like a storm around at the moment. I can hear the wind outside. I like the sound of the wind, but it's very windy. Okay, and you see what I mean by just being a bit more balanced. If we had 2 here, it would have started to look a bit too cramped. This just spaces them out a little bit more evenly, those decorative pieces. Okay, let us do the others. Again, I could copy the whole thing and do it that way, but I'll do it the hard way and do it by hand. It's not that hard, or it doesn't take that long. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to turn off seams here. I hate seeing that green seam line. It's distracting. I keep angle snap turned on too, just to make sure my rotations are sort of evenly matched. And let's get rid of the bars we don't need. That one, and that one. And that one, that one. Okay, one more to go. Wrong one. Wrong one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And one more. I actually want to incorporate some of this ironwork into the main columns as well. just to blend the scene together a little bit more. I'll talk about that in a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's get rid of the bars we don't need. So these three here. And these three here. Oh, now I'm just going to position them properly now that I can see the top and the bottom. So let me undo that, I took it up too high. And the last two. Okay. Now, let's do a save. Now these columns through here, I want to try and incorporate a little bit more ironwork on the columns, just to make the columns look a bit more interesting, because even once we've textured them up, even with an interesting texture, they're still pretty boring. And it might be a good way for us to try and incorporate some of the iron into this part of the rotunda. So what I have in mind is I'm going to take a piece of this ironwork, and again, these are about 3,000 polys. They're not 80,000 like I thought, so we can afford to use a couple more of them. I have to decide too if I want to incorporate any of that ironwork in here. I don't think I will, because it's too small a railing section to have that heavy iron decoration, so I think we'll keep that plain. But I want to do something with the columns here. So I think what I'm going to see if what we can do is, actually, no, I don't want to make a copy. I just want to move that. Let's jump into isolation mode, and let's see if we can. Let's collapse the stack. Let's see if we can do something with the bend modifier. Let's use the gizmo, and I'm going to rotate the gizmo. Angle snapper's turned on. I want to rotate it. Let's try rotating it this way. Not really what I'm looking for. I do have a version of this that's straight that before I did actually put a bend on it. I'm just not sure if it's in this scene or not. Oh, yes, there it is. That might be better for us at this stage. Instead of me trying to unbend this, or I could rotate this actually 90 degrees. Might be an option. So let's look at that. Let's see, rotating at 90 degrees, that might be interesting. So let me remove my bend. In fact, let's throw another bend on there. No. It's the pattern I'm looking at, and I don't know that I really like the pattern with it turned on its side. So let's not do that. Let's use one of these straighter pieces. Okay, now let's throw a bend on it. What I'm going to do here too is I'm going to grab one of the columns as a copy, just so I've got something to size it to. And I'm thinking some decorative ironwork around the middle of the column might be cool. Let's start by scaling it up. Putting it around about the middle. Let's reduce our bend a little bit. Now I've got to decide how many times I want to copy that. I copy it twice. Let's make a duplicate. And rotate it 180 degrees. You know, we're just a little short. They don't quite meet up, which could be okay. We could No, I actually want them to meet up. I do want to put like a border around it, but I need them to be bigger, at least at this stage. So let's scale it up a bit more. Let's bring them in. Just a little bit more. It might be okay. Now they're a bit too big, so we need to increase the bend. Okay, so what are we at? 186.5. Let's copy that value over. That's good. Now I need to add a tube. Let's increase the number of sides to, let's go 86. This is just like meant to be a metal ring that runs around the top. Just to sort of hold the whole thing together. Let me just reduce the height a bit though. And duplicate one more down the bottom. And then we just need a straight line to join the two pieces through the center. Thank you, Sniper Girl. I'm glad you like. Well, it's good too because we're repeating the same detailing we have in the fences ironwork on the column. So once we actually texture these pieces up with the column textured, it should look interesting. Just adds a bit more interest to the columns. But we need another piece through here, so I'm just going to use a box. Just to get the size. Sniper Girl says true, and thankfully it's not 30k tries like you thought. No, it's not. It's only 3,000 tries, which is why we can afford to do it, because it's not that many tries. And that's in the wrong spot. It needs to come over here. So these are just like metal pieces to hold everything together. I'm just going to pull it in so it sits behind the rings at the top and the bottom. Yeah, this is like a framework that the iron decorative pieces are sort of welded onto. That's the idea anyway. Let's just copy one to the other side. And let's just make sure everything is the same color. It's just easy to visualize because the texture color will be the same in the end. So let's just make it orange. Why not? Oh, okay. This one is actually. Let's just undo that. I actually have a texture assigned. I think just a plain color. Yeah, this one. There we go. No problem, Smurfberry Barbecue. Oh, it is time to split. It is that time of the day. Let's do a quick save. I think we might call it a day there, guys and girls. I do want to thank you though very much for being here and watching and hanging out with me and popping into chat and saying hello. I will be back on again tomorrow. We will pick up where we left off here. We'll place our decorative ironwork around our columns. And then, I don't know, I've only got a few little bits and pieces for modelling left, I think. Then we can start texturing it up. We'll go through it tomorrow, make sure, oh no, we need to break up some of the rails here where they hit the column. But we can do that tomorrow. And we'll put our ironwork around our columns tomorrow as well. So thank you guys and girls for being here and watching. You have a great night and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. See you guys.